Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan, Tim.
Are you ready to have some fun?
I think so.
That's good, because we're going to have some fun. We're going to chuckle about some stuff.
Okay.
This is going to be an episode about tall tales I have been told by my clients as a social worker.
I thought you were going to say by my dad.
No. No.
My dad's got some tall fucking tales.
He might. That'd be good to hear. But this one's strictly about people that have been legally designated as disabled or mentally ill or both.
Okay.
And I'm just going to tell these to you, and I shit you not. Sometimes I'll be talking on the phone to somebody, and they will tell me something so fantastical. But I can't just be like, that's bullshit. Because that might set them off, and God knows the consequences for the people around them, like if they live in a group home or a nursing home, and the nurses suffer, or the group home staff suffer, or the other people that live with them fucking suffer. I can't be like, that's bullshit, right? You're not supposed to do that. Just like you don't wake up someone who's sleepwalking. You're apparently not supposed to tell a crazy person who's a vulnerable adult, air quotes, that they're fucking nuts with what they're claiming.
Crazy people are crazy because they don't know they're crazy. But I know I'm crazy, therefore I'm not crazy. Isn't that crazy?
It could be. So I got this guy, and he's pushing 60, I think. I don't know. He's developmentally disabled, and he's got some mental illness. So I'm talking to him on the phone. I'm like, well, I haven't heard from you in a while. How have you been? Sorry. He proceeds to tell me that he just got back from being out of town. And I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know he'd left town. So instantly I'm like, how long? Oh, about 2 weeks. I'm like, what?
I saw you Thursday.
Well, and I just asked him, like, well, where were you? So he says that he was up at his uncle's farm, somewhere up north. He didn't tell me the city, but up north. And he was baling hay for his uncle.
What?
And he made $40,000 cash doing this. His uncle paid him.
Wow.
Because they sell so much hay.
Hey, that's a lot of money.
I'm like, well, where did you sleep? Like at his house? He's like, oh no, he's got a Winnebago out in his pole barn that's mine, and it's only mine, and I have the only key. He gave it to me. I'm like, huh. He's like, plus when I was there, he loaded me up with food. He bought me like $2,000 worth of groceries. So I was eating like a king and sleeping in the camper, then baling hay all day for 2 weeks long, and made that $40,000. And then I think another time he said, like a minute or two later, there was 50,000. Like the number fluctuated. So clearly this was fucking ridiculous. So I asked him, well, you can only have $3,000 in assets total or less to be on MA, medical assistance. Or that could affect also your Social Security. You could lose your benefits. He's like, well, I'm not worried about that. I'm like, I am, because it's my job to be. So I just asked him, like, where's the cash? He's like, oh, it's up in the camper, up at my uncle's. I'm like, so you're telling me you made $40,000 in cash and you have that much in bills stashed away in a Winnebago up north in meth country, and you're in no way concerned about its safekeeping? No, it's fine. My uncle watches stuff. And I just wanted to be like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? Really? You can't honestly expect me to believe that shit, but I can't.
I really feel sorry for this person.
So I'm talking to him again recently, and he had gotten back to work within the last week prior to us talking. I'm like, so what were you doing at work today? He's like, oh, I was mowing lawns. I'm like, oh, how's that going? He's like, yeah, it was hot, and plus I killed 2 cats and a dog. I'm like, excuse me? Pause button, what the fuck? So I asked him what happened. And I got an explanation about one cat that he says was like a 3-week-old kitten. And this lady was letting him run around the yard he was mowing. And he told her repeatedly, you got to get that cat out of here. Something's going to happen. So she didn't, and it ran too close to the mower, and he ran it over with the tire of the mower. I'm like, what happened? He's like, well, it crushed it. It died. I'm like, and then what? He's like, well, I don't know. She had to deal with the dead body of the cat. And I'm just thinking, no.
Did you just leave it there?
No, you don't, as someone that mows lawns for a living, run over a kitten and just like fucking, well, I'm sorry, And then there's like, no, you lose your job or get written up or anything. You would stop the mower and try to get the kitten away. But so let's say hypothetically that this is true, and he ran over a kitten and crushed it. I would think he'd lose his job. I would think someone would call me to tell me what happened. But he's in no way broken up about it. He's just telling me this. I'm like, okay, so what about the dog now? Well, this was a puppy, and I kept yelling at it to get away from me. Again, not shutting down the mower, not trying to shoo the dog away to get the owner to take it. Well, I was just sitting there, and it was going to the bathroom, and then it was sniffing around by the mower, and it got too close to the chute, got sucked up in the chute, and shot over the damn lawn I was mowing. So I want you to picture now a puppy, and if for some reason I'm picturing like a wiener dog. A brown wiener dog is sniffing around a fucking riding mower. So apparently my guy runs the fucking thing. It gets sucked into the chute and shoots the dog all over the lawn. But again, nobody said anything.
I'm picturing a scene out of The Simpsons.
He didn't lose his goddamn job. Nobody called me to tell me that this happened, like it might have been a malicious act by a mentally ill person who's got a job. None of that shit. Yeah.
Holy shit. The episode of The Simpsons where Homer's riding, he somehow has a riding lawnmower and he's driving it, runs over a garden hose, runs over a rake, gets over to roller skates and jams up. It's just like, just shit's just coming out of the
Bart,
chute.
you got small hands. Reach underneath there and get that out for me.
And as he's reaching in there, it starts up and shoots the stuff out. I was like, never mind.
Yeah. So now, I have this elderly female. She's a schizophrenic. So that should tell you the level of mental illness going on here. This isn't, I'm depressed, or I'm anxious, or I have rage issues. She's fucking nuts. When I first met her, I was told she's going to make up some stories that she tells every time we see her. I'm like, okay. And I wasn't sure I would get them right away. Boy, did I. Because the first time I met her, she's laying in a bed, just resting. I introduced myself, saying, I'm going to be working with you now. I'm new. And I asked her how she's been. She's like, well, I'm just sitting here in bed, just resting because it's such a hot day outside. I don't want to go out there. And I'm waiting for the limo to come pick me up later to take me to the hotel. I'm like, you're going to take a limo ride to a hotel? Yes, it's actually it's a hotel that I own, and I'm going to go there to live now in the penthouse. And I'm like, you don't say. Yeah, I forget what hotel it is, but it's some fancy fucking hotel downtown, and she was going to get picked up by a limo service to move to the hotel to live there.
You ever seen a movie with K-Pax?
No.
Okay, you gotta watch that one.
Is it somebody just like this?
Okay, so it's
Without giving too much away to me.
Basically, someone gets admitted to a hospital because he claims he's an alien.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Jeff Bridges plays the psychologist or psychiatrist, one of the two, and it's I can't remember the dude's
Kevin
name.
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey plays the man, and as you start meeting the other people in the mental institution that he's at, it's just funny because that lady reminds me a little bit of the one that. Every night, she's waiting for her gentleman caller to come and have dinner with her. And like, oh, you've been waiting 11 years. Some people call it crazy, but I call it romantic.
Oh, God.
Like, that's kind of what it reminds me of.
Well, yeah, she once upon a time ago was like rich.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she had breast implants back before breast implants were like a common thing.
How common are they nowadays, really?
Fucking very, like if you're a stripper and you don't have fake tits, most female professional wrestlers have fake tits. A lot of actresses have fake tits. There's a lot of guys that for some reason want to get fake tits.
Well, they want bigger pecs. They want to look muscular.
No, I mean not fucking pectoral implants. I mean fake tits.
Oh, because they think they're a woman?
Possibly. Or for whatever reason. So I thought maybe it could be true with the hotel thing. From a long time ago, there might have been some small grain of truth to this, but I'll never know, because then I saw her a number of months in a row. I'd go visit her to see how she's doing, to get an update, and another time I'm like, I've never seen you anywhere but laying in bed. Do you want to maybe get out of the bed and like sit in this chair with me and talk? And she's like, oh, I can't. Why? Well, my legs don't work. I'm like, I don't remember being told that you're wheelchair bound or anything. And she says to me, well, no. My legs are broken right now because someone hammered them. I'm like, what do you mean? Someone took a hammer and beat on your legs? She's like, yeah, and they broke the bones, and now my legs don't work, and I can't get out of bed.
Isn't there a term for that called like knobbling or something like that?
What, breaking somebody's legs
Well,
with a hammer?
you break their ankles so they can't walk, but they can still like do other things.
Ah,
It was in the movie Misery.
It sounds a lot like that, doesn't it?
It does.
So,
That's why I wondered if you knew if that was the term.
I don't know, man, but this hammer in my legs. Another time she told me that some of the care staff where she lived put needles in her butt. I'm like, what do you mean? Like they were giving you shots? She's like, no, there's needles inside of me.
Acupuncture?
No, they put needles up in her anus.
Oh, ew.
That's what she claimed. I'm like, are you in any pain? She's like, oh no, I feel fine now.
I think she's crazy.
No shit. You think? And recently, a few times she told me that she's getting married soon. I'm like, oh, that's great news. Congratulations. And I'm like, so what's his name? What does he do? Tell me about him. She's like, oh, I don't know his name. But we went to college together. And he's coming here soon to pick me up so we can go to get married. And I'm like, fucking Jesus Christ. Why do I even ask? It sucks being forced to like play this game of cat and mouse with her confabulations.
Yeah, I don't know. All I can really say is bless your heart for dealing with these people because I don't have the patience for it.
And we've had a number of new people get hired after me that I've taken them with me on the road to meet clients to see what it's like doing what we do.
And
we'll go into places. I'm like, I'm just going to warn you right now, this lady is fucking nuttier than squirrel shit, and she's going to say some stuff, possibly about going to live in a hotel, possibly about getting married, possibly about her legs were hammered. But a few months ago, before everything shut down, this takes the cake. She tells me that she's pregnant. She's in her 70s, but she's pregnant. I'm like, you are? Well, that's incredible. She's like, yeah, but I'm worried about the babies. I'm like, babies? There's more than one? She's like, yeah, there's 6 babies in my tummy, but they're so little, I'm afraid they're not going to make it.
well, you're only about 2 months along, dear, so
Yeah, just imagine being so nuts that you think that you have a fucking sextuplet of babies growing inside of you.
I don't know how you deal with these people. I think it's bad enough when my kids tell me bullshit, but at least I can call them out on it.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing, is when your kids make up story, you can pretty much shut that shit down right away. But then even today, I had a guy tell me that he was out in the yard bird watching, which he could do. He could go out in the backyard of where he lives and watch birds. But he tried to say some reindeer came by and one tried to eat his hair. And I went, hang on.
That's a true story.
Reindeer? Do you mean regular deer? He's like, yeah, the reindeer come from the park and through our yard. I'm like, okay, how many were there? He's like, oh, there was a mommy reindeer and a daddy reindeer and 2 little baby reindeers. And this guy's fucking old and mentally ill and developmentally disabled. That's quite a combination. But I'm just picturing him like, did he fucking say reindeer like fucking Santa Claus?
Supposedly there is a breed of deer that's reindeer, but it's not, quote, Santa Claus. I guess they're just deer that live way up north. I don't know. It's
just the fact that he's sitting here saying that not only did he see an animal, but it tried to eat his hair. Like, he doesn't have any fucking hair. He's got a shaved head like me. What the fuck is going on? Jesus Christ. He's been stuck indoors for far too long. It's time to get him out there.
What movies is he watching?
Well, and this isn't just like strictly social work, because I had inmates all the time that would make up stories about shit. Like, we had this one fat guy, this kid dressed like he only shopped at Walmart, and he lived with his grandma.
I only shop at Walmart. What the fuck?
Do you live with your grandma?
No.
Okay.
But I shop at Walmart.
That's different. So this guy, anyway, he's dressed like just a fucking stupid kid. He's probably like 26 or 27. Says he's got like these 2, I forget the kind of cars, but I think one was a Maybach. And
What the hell's a Maybach?
I had some fucking fancy foreign car. Some super expensive shit. I think it's a Lambo. And if it's not, don't crucify the messenger. I'm not a car guy. So he says he's got this car and another car. Now he's saying he's got like $400 some thousand worth of cars, but yet he's in jail for like theft. And another time he tries to tell the guys, oh, I'm an 8% owner in this downtown nightclub. And I sat there and I winced at him like, did that motherfucker just say 8%? How the fuck do you become an 8% stakeholder in a nightclub? That's such a random figure, 8%.
Well, the other guy owns 92%. That's how you do it.
Well, you know, other times I was excited to go see my clients just to hear what kind of crazy shit they'd tell me. Like I had a guy that was a chronic liar, and he would buy and sell and trade things. And people were always giving him phones. Just giving him phones. And one time we caught him, and he's not supposed to have any phones, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Because of this propensity for buying, selling, trading, stealing. And we caught him with like 7 cell phones.
Cocksucker!
So we took all his phones away.
That's a lot of phones.
And then he's at his job, and a phone goes missing. And the best part is he claimed he didn't do it, but it was in his lunchbox. And then he couldn't explain how it got there, and he claimed someone was trying to set him up.
Well, that's very possible. They know he's a phone thief, so they took somebody's phone, put it in his lunchbox, and said, hey, Carol, your phone's missing.
Yeah.
I'll bet you it was that guy with the sketchy eyes.
Well, and the thing of it was that they had him on videotape going back and forth past the employee locker area. So he was already acting suspicious. And then to say, I didn't do it. But he's got a history of theft. So like all signs are pointing to my guy. And then he vehemently denies it. And then when I call him out on that shit, and the person that hired him, his boss, says, we know you did it. They have you on tape in the area. He's like, they don't have shit on me. He's like, even if
I watched too many cops. You ain't got nothing on me, copper.
well, he's like, even if they have it, I can hack security cameras. I can delete the footage.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, what the fuck planet are you living on right now, dude?
I'll delete the evidence. We already saw it. We have a copy. You can delete the original, but we have a copy.
So you know how I said normally I wouldn't call somebody out on their shit?
Well, there you could, right?
He's the one guy I would consistently, every time, call him out on his shit. Because it was just like
It's
this
so blatantly
game to
shit.
him.
At least with the new clients, there's a possibility that they're just remembering shit from the past, and they think it's the future. They think it's the present. I mean, but the cell phone guy clearly just an idiot.
You know, another time a wallet went missing, and he claimed he had nothing to do with it, and then we couldn't prove it.
You can't prove it.
And then he moved, and they found the wallet hidden in the back of his closet of his room.
You know, they say criminals really aren't that smart.
Well, this guy's developmentally disabled, so he's really bringing the curve down. But the actual criminals that aren't developmentally disabled are really not that much smarter.
Well, duh.
Here's the last one. It's a quick one. It's the cell phone stealing guy again.
I like this guy. I want to hear more.
Oh, yeah, he's a fucking peach. He once called 2 of his black group home staffers the N-word, which I chewed him out for royally. Like, what are you going to do someday if you're out on the street just walking with your headphones on, you think nothing's wrong, and some people stop you? Are you going to cock off at the mouth to them like that? He's like, I don't have to worry about shit. I know martial arts. I'm like, no, you don't. He's like, I do. Like, so if 6 guys walk up to you and they want to take your wallet, what are you going to do? If they want to steal your wallet and your phone, he's like, I'd kick their ass.
What if they all had guns and they weren't close enough for you to do hand-to-hand combat?
There's nothing that you could say to him. He's just a lumpy motherfucker with fetal alcohol syndrome. All right?
I have a mental image in my head of what this person looks like. And it's not very tall. It's not very slender. It's wearing a red and white jacket.
He's tall and he's fat. It's not Warren from There's Something About Mary.
No, I wasn't thinking that. No. I pictured something completely different. I just, for some reason, my mind has a red and white jacket on him.
Okay, well, maybe you've seen the old wrestling gimmick of Eugene one too many times.
Who?
I see. I know you have no idea who that is. It's a Eugene. Nick Dinsmore portrayed a mentally handicapped character named Eugene, who had incredible strength and was a great wrestler, even though he was mentally deficient. And this was a gimmick that they put on TV and they pushed to the moon because he was a role model for overcoming adversity. Can you imagine if today they had somebody on wrestling portray someone with mental disabilities who was not mentally disabled?
I think I know what it is.
Holy shit.
I think I know what it is. Have you
What?
seen the movie Anger Management?
Yeah, but not for a long time.
Okay. It was Adam Sandler's Anger Buddy.
Oh.
I can't remember the character's name. He's been in a lot of movies. He's actually kind of a funny, like, second lead actor or whatever.
Okay.
I'm picturing him with a red and white jacket. That's what I'm picturing.
Well, my guy, when I finally asked him, I'm like, what's up with you in the martial arts talk here? What have you studied? I finally asked him. He's like, well, karate. I'm like, what belt are you? He's like, I'm a white belt. I'm like, are you shitting me?
No,
You get a white belt just for fucking showing up. Everybody's a white belt to start. You don't even have a belt. The white belt is no belt. They just give you a belt to fucking keep your gi closed.
No, but
are
Mr.
you shitting me?
Miyagi says there's no belt in karate.
Yeah, that's fucking movie bullshit. And I'm like, dude, I'm a purple belt. I have studied for a few years. I know more shit than you could ever hope to forget. And he's just like, oh. I'm like, yeah, so you saying I know martial arts? Knock that shit off, because you don't know no martial
I'm a
arts.
black belt.
The only thing you know is how to open your mouth and then get your ass kicked. And you're going to get yourself in trouble if you don't knock it off. He's like, okay.
I'm surprised he didn't pull that I know Mexican judo shit. You don't know if I got a knife. You don't know if I got a gun.
He's not smart enough.
Like,
He's not smart enough.
okay, well, that just takes all the fun out of it.
Mentally disabled. So you're expecting him to be a lot
You would think somebody
wittier
like
than
that
he
would
is.
hear that and latch onto it.
Nope.
Okay.
It's in one ear and out the other. Just like all the advice I ever gave him.
Stop lying.
So, I deal with these people all the time. They tell me these fucking stories, and I'm just like, God, one of these days I should sit down and hammer out a few of these on the show with Tim and just tell him about some of the shit I go through. I've told you some stories of stuff that I've gone
Told
through.
me some stuff, and some of it's just horrifying. Other stuff, it chuckles.
Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It. That is at What Do We Call It. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast shoe. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan, Tim.
And that's the end.